might be in go-to-market kindergarten. But the reason that I want to start here is because I think it's the step that most startups skip because it's a very, very hard thing to do. It's way easier to start talking about what our social strategy is going to be and what's our demo going to look like and should we do a POC or not. But all of those questions are easier to answer when you've done the hard stuff up front to take a principled and disciplined point of view about the companies that you care about. And I'm going to reference most of this in a B2B context. And even if you do that work, which we'll talk about how to approach that, the majority do not do that work. And then an even smaller minority do not do the work down to the human level. Because companies don't buy products, people at those companies buy products. People are irrational and self-interested in their nature, and how do you understand the number of roles that get involved in any sort of reasonably complex B2B cycle? You have to have a point of view about the people that you're building to serve. And when you do that hard work, then all the other questions down and go to market become easier to answer. Everyone throws out the cliche ICP. What's your ICP? What I think is missing underneath that is the exercise to define that with some amount of objectivity and precision. And so for the folks that have done it, you've probably taken that first cut of, well, we care about companies of this size. We're going after the mid-market. And the mid-market to us means X number of employees or Y amount of revenue. And that's an easy thing to do because it's cool because you can run a query in LinkedIn Sales Navigator to spit out a bunch of companies that fit that firmographic profile. Keep going down though a little bit further, and what it to me is more interesting to help define this with discipline is who are your target's customers? Who are the customers that they serve, and what's important for us to understand about their customer base that helps us define our marketing, our product, our sales approach. Who are their competitors? And then the things that I've tried to highlight here in the classic shade of climate tech green and the earth emoji is what are the characteristics in each of these segments that are going to be more specific and unique to likely the products that you're marketing and selling. And so a big thing that is to have a point of view is what's the regulatory environment that you need to get momentum for your product? We talked about the impact of the IRA and how important is that to define the companies that are going to be impacted by that or accelerated by that, and does that link to the offering that we have? Do we have a point of view about that? Geography is certainly something that, depending on where they're being impacted by climate, could drive more focus. Customer type, meaning who their customers are. Is their clientele maybe more socially aware, and so then that's driving interest and enthusiasm that they have to do something about climate? We hear that a lot with a lot of the climate tech companies that we work with is when they sell, the momentum comes from the individuals in the company who realize that if they don't do something about climate, carbon counting, tracking, operational efficiency, and energy consumption, then their customers will leave them. And so being able to link to your customers' customers is very powerful.